Hola boo, thank you so much for checking out my channel Touching Corners. My name is Stephanie. Today we are going to be talking about hair. We're going to be talking about how to make thin or thinning hair appear thicker and fuller. Fortunately, thinning hair runs in my family and I have had to get creative with the way that I work with my locks in order to feel hair fabulous. And today I'd like to share my tips and tricks with you. Okay, so if you'd like to keep watching, here we go. Okay, so the first step that I enjoy for achieving thicker, fuller hair and not causing so much wear and tear to the hair is using dry shampoo. There's a couple different dry shampoos on the market. One of the ones that I really enjoy is Batiste. They have a couple different flavors. They have a couple different scents. This one here is coconut and exotic tropical. It has a nice little luxurious odor. If you have thin or thinning hair, you know that as soon as your hair gets a little bit oily, it starts to get weighed down really easily, and so you find that you're having to wash your hair almost every single day. The moment your hair gets oily, it starts to get flat and it's a mess. So this really helps you to go between shampoos a little bit longer so you can keep your hair healthier. You basically just apply it to the roots and rub it in and then style as usual with a blow dryer and your brush, whatever you choose to do. Just make sure that you work it in, because if you don't work it in well, you end up with really white patches everywhere. So make sure you work it in. It leaves your hair full, voluminous, and smelling great. Tip number 2, it's an oldie but a goodie, is good old-fashioned mousse. One of the lines that I really enjoy using is Tresemme. I like their hair spray as well as their mousse, and here's their mousse here. I put a little dab in my palm and apply that directly to the roots. I do not apply it all over the hair, because you're gonna find that when you're blow drying your hair, it just is gonna feel thick and stiff and uncomfortable to work with. It's gonna pull on your hair, and girl, it's gonna pull out the remaining little shreds of hair that you have up in your head. So make sure you just apply it to the roots. A little dab will do you. Style as usual. Tip number 3, styling. Styling is everything when it comes to thin hair. You have to learn how to rock it and figure out what styles work for you in terms of making your hair look thicker, fuller, more luxurious. One of the favorite styles that I have is the good old-fashioned comb over, and men have been using this trick for years, so why can't women? I'm just saying. Unfortunately, in my family, one of the areas that gets really thin is the center portion here. So I have hair all around here, and then it's pretty thin in the middle, and then I have normal hair here. So it's kind of like a female Friar Tucker. It's unfortunate, but nevertheless, you do what you can, and girl, you just try to work you and get your style. You can choose, you can pick your part, you can go this way or that way. Ooh, that looks fun. This way or that way, blow dry it, figure out what you want to do to make it work for you, put some color in it, change it. Don't be scared. You just have to find what works for you. Your hair's not gonna work like everybody else's. Do you, boo, and get that style in however it works for you. Tip number 4. This is one of my favorite ones. I discovered it late in life, and unfortunately, it's a little scary to do at first, because it starts when you start like venturing into like the thin hair zone. You're like, oh my God, I'm one of those people with thin hair. This is my life now. What do I do? Are they gonna know that I'm like cheating? Girl, everybody's so worried about themselves. They're not really gonna be looking all up in your scalp to see what the hell you have in there. So a couple tips and tricks that I like to do are the following. There's 3 that I really enjoy. One of them is sprays. Like this, Gray Away. Basically what it does is you're supposed to apply it to the grays, but this you can actually apply directly onto the scalp, and it gives you a blackish or whatever color that comes in all different colors that match your hair tone. So find the one that works for you, and you can spray it directly onto your scalp and onto the hair, and it makes that hair appear thicker, fuller, because the scalp looks thicker and fuller, and girl, it'll fake everybody. The next thing that I like to use are different hair fibers. This actually makes your hair a little bit more voluminous and thicker, and also applies, again, that coverage concealer directly onto the roots of your hair. There's a couple different brands out. This one's To Peak. It's sold at Sally's. They have a couple different ones. There's another one called Viviscal, which works really well on its hair fibers. It just makes it camouflage, thicker, fuller. It works amazingly. And last but not least, the next trick that I use is plain old eyeshadow, and or they also sell eyeshadow powders specifically for the hair. There's one by Joan Rivers I know that I bought at Sally's. Sally's is your friend when you got thinning hair, I'm just saying. So you just apply it directly to the scalp, and I'll put a couple of examples up there for you. So Yes, those are your tips and tricks. Go ahead and go for it. Ain't nobody gonna be looking at you all up in here. Just make sure that when you're going to bed that night, you're not too attached to your pillow, because you can leave messy marks on your pillow. Unfortunately, I heard this from one of my friends who did a little rumble in the jungle in the sack and was a little embarrassed by the marks that were left the next morning. Let's just say that. Some of the hair then transferred to the pillow and it got a little weird. But just saying, it works. Just be careful how you use it. Last but not least, if you are like, okay, my hair's super thin and or I'm looking for more, I have an amazing tip for you. And don't be scared. Yes, it is wigs and toppers. Yes, I said it, wigs and toppers. You're like, oh no, this is exactly where I didn't want to go. I didn't want to wear wigs. Are you kidding me? The life of wigs and toppers is limitless. You can be any kind of hair color, hair texture, hairstyle that you want from 1 minute to the next just by applying a wig. And then there's toppers. If you want to ease into it, which is what I did, I bought myself a topper, and it's essentially a couple clip-in pieces, not like clip-in pieces like extension pieces. It's literally a piece that sits right on top of the head, and you clip it in to your natural hair, what's called your bio hair. This is how I learned about it. And you pull out a couple of the strands in order to make it meld well into your regular hair, and you wear it as is. So it's like a half wig. Is that right? Half wig? And then there's the full wig. It's kind of like that. I don't know. It works really well for me, because that way if people look underneath for some reason, if you're worried about being able to pull up your hair and you're wearing a hair topper, you can do so, because you'll still have your regular hair underneath, and so nobody's going to be able to tell the difference with it. And then you have your bio hair, which kind of sticks out too, so it'll blend it nicely. That's a topper. And then you have your wigs. It just gives you some versatility to be able to change, mix, match, whatever you want to do. And the truth is, who the fuck cares? If it makes you feel good, do it. They're not going to be tuned in unless you're somebody that already has thinning hair, that has that like wig radar, that you're like, they have a wig, they have a wig, they have a wig because they have thin hair. Oh my God, is that real? Does it look natural? Is that something that would work for me? That's your wig radar. You know who you are if you got that wig radar. Yeah, I do. Anyways. I have tried some of the conventional hair growth systems like Nioxin, including medicines like Rogaine, Hairfinity, and Biotin, but they haven't worked for various different reasons. I have also tried very unconventional methods like rubbing ginger root on my own hair, which have failed, and failed. Until I am able to find a potential cure for my hair problems, I am going to continue to rock out with my little hair tricks. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more, please subscribe. If you liked the video, you found it helpful, please make sure that you hit that like button and share it with your friends and family. All of us thin-haired, thinning hair sisters need to stick together. You can also check me out on Facebook, Insta, at Touching Corners. Till then, I send you a million besos, and don't tell anyone, it's our little secret. Shh.